welcome to our live energy talk on Skype. My name is Jona Bryndis, and as always, I guide you through the dynamics of collective energies. These energy talks are mostly designed for you if you are energetically sensitive, if you're an empath, if you are struggling with discerning whether incoming things or things that you're dealing with are yours or whether they're coming from the outside, what is going on. It's basically the energetic weather forecast here for you. And on Wednesdays, I pick a subject and go a little deeper. We have talked about the alignment for February that you can get for free. It's a 20-minute mini meditation for those of you who really want to work with these energies here the past 2 weeks. And I would like to go one step farther and actually talk to you guys about alignment, what alignment actually is. So if you've been following me, I have decoded this for you a little bit here in these past weeks. Yeah, and also how important our words are and the statements that we make and how all this is connected. Yeah, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that will be prevalent next week. And because we are having a full moon tonight, it's already here, and you will already feel this, especially if you are energetically sensitive, namely how to make more conscious choices. What is alignment? And what are the factors that are playing into how clear it is for you what it actually is that you want, that you resonate with, that you align to, you know, based on who you are today? So many of the people that I work with get this. They get what alignment is. It is something that moves your heart, something where your heart kind of signals to you that this is the direction that you need to go to. And you may not know the outcome, you may not know the details of that, but you can feel this strongly in you. You guys can follow me here, right? It's very difficult to explain to others what this feels like, because it also feels differently for each and every one of us. But there is an aspect to that that is unmistaken. It's, you know, some call this instinct or intuition. This is a simplified way of referring to something like a gut feeling. But really, there's a science to this, guys. And not to make this overcomplicated, but this is where the word alignment comes in. Yeah, so what am I envisioning for myself? How am I perceiving myself? How do I perceive the world? And where do I want to go next? These things need to kind of all go into the same direction. And if they are not going into the same direction, then we will feel this as a dissonance within, as uncomfortable, as conflicted. And many of you who have been following me know that for us to actually utilize our energies effectively, inner conflicts are kind of like the ones that compromise your power. So in other words, the less aware you are, the less aligned you are, the more conflicted you are, the less powerful your visions or your actions are. Yeah, so there's a connection here between how congruent, how everything matches up within yourself, how authentic you are about a subject or a decision. Could be anything from like the kind of job that you want to do, or the kind of relationship that you would like to have, or, you know, meeting impedances in your current relationship or work or family and so forth, where you find that things aren't really going your way. So whenever we want to make changes, it's extremely important to have clarity about what it is that we want, what it is that we need, and where we want to go. And this is why I want to talk to you guys about this today, because these full moon energies, they are very, very powerful here on the 16th of February, namely in the sense that all full moons do. They bring something old to a closure. They bring this like sort of monthly opportunity to really let go of something, yeah, and to start fresh. New moon energies always bring in the seeds. They bring in, what it is. They bring in the content, what it is that we want to, manifest, that we want to bring into this world. But the full moon is actually where it happens. Because if you think about yourself, what is holding you back from manifesting the life that you want, yeah, from loving what you do and doing what you love, is not always, for some of you it is, that you don't really know what this could be. That's an easy problem. You have to create the space to explore and find out by eliminating, yeah. But for most of you, it is actually the attachments or the things that you can't let go of that are holding you back. Now, some of you are very aware of what that is. Do you guys have any idea what that is for you? What is holding you back in spite of your, say, gut feeling or your inner prompting or your desire to change or to do something new? What is it that is typically holding you back from putting things into action, from standing up for your vision? Who wants to share? You can type here into the comments or speak directly into the microphone. I'm more than happy to talk with you directly. But this is an important part of conscious decision making. First, we're going to have to identify whether our alignment, yeah, meaning sort of where our inner energies are going to, if that is matching up with our actions, with, just sort of the everyday doings. And oftentimes we find that it doesn't. And this is where many of you get stuck, right? Because, you have this idea or you have this desire to change something and you have an intention, and then you kind of get stuck there. What is it that makes you get stuck? Because that's the next step. What is holding me back? What do I need to let go of? Or what do I need to surrender? Cynthia's sharing. The fear of losing something. Yes, that's very accurate. The fear of losing something is probably the most common reason why we don't change something. Yeah, there's a courage needed for doing something differently or approaching things differently or expressing our stance, our opinion, or even just expressing our vision. And that courage gets impeded by the fear of, well, okay, here, Annette is determining this fear a little more, the fear of the unknown. Okay, so that's another aspect of that fear. Yeah, it's like, okay, I don't actually know yet exactly how that can look like. And so if somebody questions me or asks me, well, then I don't have answers, right? Or our mind fills in the gaps of the unknown and says, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if that, right? And we get stuck in that loop, that fear of the unknown loop, yeah, where we talk ourselves back out of it. No, that's not worth it. Or, oh, the risk is too big. Yeah. Tina is sharing comfort zone. Yeah. And that has to do, yes, you're absolutely right, with examining what's in it for me, right? I mean, comfort zone in and of itself is something, as most of you know, as part of your ego's MO, yeah, seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. That's our most fundamental structure. It is not necessarily designed to make us happy. It is designed to keep us alive, yeah, and to create a certain level of safety. Comfort zone. Comfort zone is a minimal level of safety. And so what will I get out of it? Yeah, what's my payoff? Kind of needs to be in relation or proportion to the risk that I'm taking, right? That's what the ego says. It says, okay, well, change is great and all, but if there is a fear, or if there is a possibility that I lose something, for example, my comfort zone, or that there is too many unknowns, yeah, that I might get embarrassed, or I might make a mistake, or, I might not know what to do. Yeah, I got to face something, yeah, that potentially brings pain. Then the payoff better be really, really, really good. And sometimes it's hard for us to either know what the payoff might be, yeah, because especially when it's a gut feeling or when it's an impulse, yeah, in our guidance, sometimes we don't even know why we want to do it. Yeah, it's hard to argue with the ego. Then it says, no way, we're not doing that. That is way too risky. Yeah, well, look at all the things that you could lose. Yeah, look at all the pleasures that you might not get. Okay, yes, you guys are good. That's what's holding us back. Who of you has noticed in the course of your life that strategy is tricky? Who of you feels that your life feels like a Groundhog Day? The time just goes by so quickly and you feel like life is just happening to you. You are not an active participant in your life. Yeah, sometimes, right? And then depending on what age we are, we look back and we're like, wow, I don't even know where these last 10 years went. I mean, I was busy the whole entire time, busy with something, mostly busy with trying to create more pleasure and avoiding pain, which in and of itself, is already a struggle. Yeah, survival struggle, physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual survival. But somehow, what I manifest, what I keep creating here in my life isn't matching up. Let me almost do this like a poll here. Maybe I can get some thumbs up from you on this. Who of you has regrets? Who of you feels that you missed out on opportunities, or you wished you would have taken more risks, or you wished you would have prioritized certain things in your life, such as family or love, more in the past? So this is the dilemma, okay? If we go by creating more pleasure and avoiding pain, we actually cannot grow. We actually can't grow because the whole objective is to maintain what we have. You brought this up as the fear number one, losing what I have, right? So the alignment, that I'm expressing when I'm afraid to lose something that I have is I want to maintain. It's not growth. It's I want to maintain. That's the prime directive. If you are afraid, or if you allow your fear of losing something that you have to dominate your choices. Yes, and Siri, I agree with you. If I look back to my life, into my life, yeah, I'm 55 years old, I do also feel that I missed out on opportunities, but I don't have regrets. And there's a reason why I don't have regrets. Why, if I may ask you, Siri, why do you not have regrets? What in you makes it okay to have missed out on opportunities? I'm just curious. Do we really have to take every opportunity to grow, right? That's the question behind that. Are there some times in which we prioritize other things, such as maintaining, such as survival, such as maybe, keeping it slower or redirecting our energy to other areas of our life? Perfect example, for example, is somebody who interrupts or shifts the career into a new direction and decides to go back to college or decides to start something from scratch. It slows down growth, but it's for a long-term goal. Yeah, so what you're sharing here, Siri, is that it helped you to reach this point where I'm now, and you're really happy about your current you and the possibilities ahead. Yes, and that's a more sophisticated way of looking at things. It's a very conscious way of looking at things. Yeah, it's what we can learn through tuning into our own spirituality. It can show us that our spirit is exactly where it needs to be. And that without our past experiences, I talked about this last week, especially in the energy update, even without our past pain, we wouldn't be here in this way. I wouldn't be the me that I am today. Yeah. And so when we look back, we can take on different perspectives. Yeah, and we can say, okay, there's lots of opportunities that I missed, and maybe there's a lot of mistakes that I made. But because I am conscious right now of who I am okay with that, because I know that each and every of these experiences, like say of loss, of facing the unknown, of losing something, of being heartbroken, that they have shaped my I am awareness. They have shaped my consciousness of who I truly am today. And if you can arrive at that point, then you don't need to have regrets. The only time when we have regrets is when we realize that we were not conscious in moments of decision making, when we made our choices based on autopilot, based on this ego directive of seeking pleasure, avoiding pain. Because that's not growth oriented. So we got to understand that while our ego is important, it's our fail-safe. It keeps us alive, And it allows us to build some fundamental structures in our life. Yeah? But it doesn't actually lead to growth beyond my own limitations. If I want to grow beyond sort of what I can create through, like, say, the daily grind and the, sort of ever repeating trauma, karma, drama Okay, if I want to go beyond this, if I want to transcend some of these patterns, some of these karmic things that I have identified in my life, yeah, these recurring issues around certain subjects, say intimacy or money, I need to take risks. I need to have a very serious talking to my ego, because my ego isn't going to get me there. My ego is not designed to help me evolve past my fail safes. My ego is going to keep me there. I might make a lot of money, yeah, and overcome, say, poverty or lack, yeah, that I was born into. But it's not a guarantee that I'm happy. So for those of us who strive for happiness, for more love, more abundance, more connection, more intimacy, more life force, more aliveness, we're going to have to take risks. We're going to have to align ourselves to growth. I had a class at our school yesterday. I call this vitality class, yeah, the science of happiness and energy and life force. And I asked them if it's possible to make a plant stop growing. And they all said, no, of course not. Plants can die if we remove the things that they need, such as water and light and nutrients through the soil. And so can we. But we don't necessarily die and fall over dead. Our life force dies. Our ego will make sure, remember it's our fail-safe, that we stay alive. Like alive, yeah. But our life force will be gone. And that's why it's important to make conscious choices. Conscious choices are a function of our higher intellect, our heart mind, as I call this. It's when we become able to be aware of ourselves, who we are, and what we can do. When we can let go of all the things that we can't control. Yeah, because those are, as we've worked out earlier, the ones that hold us back, right? We see too many impedences there, and that's why we're not even trying, or that's why we talk ourselves out of it. Yeah. But at the same time, this awareness that you're having right this minute can allow you to see, well, that's kind of like a dog chasing its own tail, right? Because for me to actually go beyond my own limitations, and especially my own mind's limitations, yeah, my ego mind's limitations, which is hardwired to my physical and my emotional, yeah, the body mind, yeah, that's the undeveloped mind, yeah, it goes by pain and pleasure. If I want to go beyond that, I have to use that higher function. And that higher function is a function of heart. And your heart is not to be confused with your emotions. Your emotions are tied to your nervous system, to your neurotransmitters, and to your body, guys. Yeah, to your movement, to your emotion. So it does make sense to use your body to get your emotions, yeah, going. And it can help with motivation. But it's not suitable as an alignment, because your emotions keep fluctuating. Your higher alignment, yeah, what comes out of your heart, your inner guidance, you know, this subtle whisper of your true self that tells you, no, don't do that. Do this. Yeah, do this. This is for your higher good. That is what we need to align to, and we need our mind forward. You can't do this without your mind. You run into too many impedances. And this is how we do this, guys. You need to learn how your mind functions. You need to understand your ego, your fears, and your payoffs. Then you're going to have to make a conscious choice and say to yourself, all right, it's evident to me I can keep doing this. Yeah, whatever this is, maintaining my comfort zone, not facing the unknown. And chances are, this is obvious, that I keep recreating what I have already created so far. I might, move up, a few more levels. But because I am not actually going beyond my own impedances, it is impossible for me to really sort of make a quantum leap. So if I'm not changing anything, I cannot expect any changes in my life. So for me, to have the motivation and the power to change, I need to be clear in my mind and in my heart what it is that I'm aligning myself to. And the reason why I'm talking about this here with you today, guys, is because we are at a fated moment here. This full moon that we're already feeling. Who of you is already feeling these heavy lunar energies? Who of you is feeling this in your body? Yeah. How does this feel like in your body? You guys are energetically sensitives. How does this make you feel? Physically, emotionally? What does it do to you? Speak it out loud, guys. This is really important for everybody to hear because each and every one of us thinks it's just us. What does it do to your body? What does it do to your emotions? What does it do to your energy? It feels heavy. Yes, Annette, and it triggers fear. Yes. What else?
Feeling ungrounded. Fear.
Hang on a second. Just real quick. I need to set this here to my headphones. Can you say this again?
Yes, being here. Fear, ungrounded.
It feels very ungrounded, doesn't it? It feels very like you were just sort of floating and are not in
Yeah, like
control.
suspended. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is very, very common in full moons because it's an energy that is really that has a lot of magnetism to it, if you will. All right, and it kind of pulls us out of our density of out of our 3D density into something, well, I mean, visionaries like full moon energies because this is where this veil between realities becomes a bit more permeable, but it can feel very, very discomforting physically. Yeah, so we have to know how to work our energies during those times, and one of the ways we work this is through grounding, through consciously connecting with the earth, with the ground, but also, this is very, very important right now, with your mind. This isn't done by just sort of chasing waterfalls and unicorns. Yeah, this isn't grounding. For grounding, yeah, for yourself to be fully anchored in your physical, you need to be willing to go there. And the problem is that when we feel this way, we feel uncomfortable in our physical. And many of us who are energetically sensitives or sort of spiritually inclined, we have a tendency, to not wanting to be in our physical. And that's something we need to counteract, especially during full moon times. Yeah. And the way we can do this is by engaging in softer activities. Yeah. Like, for example, we can use water to ground ourselves. Yeah. Take a hot bath or go into the sauna or take long walks. Yeah. Sit in the grass. Those are very soft grounding techniques, and they allow us, that's why energy work is really, really effective in full moon times, yeah, where you sort of visualize your energy going into the ground. It needs to be a little softer. If you go too hard in those times, it becomes too imbalanced. Yeah, so just doing push-ups or, chopping wood isn't going to do it. It will give you a little bit of relief if you go hard, if you go into the grunt, into the more masculine approach of grounding. Yeah, but it won't actually help you to connect your heart and your mind effectively. It will pull you into like an either or state. And that's why many of you kind of get the fears triggered right now. Yeah. So Becky, for you, this would be a sign right now, if you feel heavy in your body, to connect more with feminine energies. But the tricky part of this is, guys, and I've announced this in the forecast for this week, is masculine and feminine energies. And remember, this is not a gender discussion. Yeah, masculine and feminine energies are in all of us. It's just that the genders tend to have a different alignment. So a male pulls more life force from masculine than a female does, and vice versa. So the ratio is like 60-40. And obviously we can choose, we have a little bit of choice in what we want to primarily align ourselves to. But yeah, if we are feeling things to be too heavy in our physical, all right, we cannot just go into our feminine energy, which is the one that goes, sort of into the ether, okay, into the etheric, where we disconnect entirely from our body. We cannot do that. We always have to align ourselves in a balanced way. And right now, this full moon comes in with very, very strong masculine energies, which means we probably need a little more softness. Now, what makes me say this? How do I know that this full moon feels very masculine? For me, as a visionary and energy reader, it's very easy to see that it's a masculine energy. I just have to look at what's happening in the world. There's protests, there's confrontations, there's a lot of issues around boundaries right now. Yeah, this is all masculine stuff. Okay, direct confrontation, direct stance. Okay, and when that happens, I need to soften this up a little bit. Otherwise, I can get pulled into the counter push too much, or into the fear of confrontation. So our job really, and as energy managers, that's exactly where we want to be, is to always kind of feel into what is going on inside of me, what is going on outside of me. Outside of me are the weather conditions, and how can I counterbalance that? And when I do that, that's when my energies go back into balance. That's when my inner conflicts start dissipating. They're not going away entirely, but you will feel a lot lighter. And that's when I can find back to my conscious alignment. Hang on a second. What is truly important to me? What is this truly about? And the interesting part about these energies right now is that we have both at the same time. It's a standoff, guys. Because on one hand, we have this confrontational energy. And on the other hand, we have freedom and truth and love that we are trying to fight for. Freedom, love, and truth, these three fundamental energies that make us grow, that make us part of this creation process. are neither masculine nor feminine. They require, though, a very conscious balance. You ever tried to convince somebody of the truth? Make them see truth? How's that going for you? It doesn't work. Have you ever been in a situation where you just like, oh, they just can't see it? You know, I'm just moving away and, you know, like not even engaging. It's not worth it. How well is that working? For you to step into your conscious co-creation and to utilize your life force effectively, guys, you're going to have to be in balance with both. You're going to have a vision that comes in through your heart, not your emotions, your vision. Your emotions help with motivation, but they're not the reason. Your vision is how you really want your life, how you want others to be with you. It's not just about your pleasure. It's also about how you want to interact with others, because we're all designed to look at the greater good. And how feasible is that? How realistic is that? That's a masculine energy. Does this even work? What's your plan? How are you going to do this? And so right now here, I've talked about this in the forecast for February. We have a massive shift. It's a sort of a faded shift. It's the beginning of a new, I don't want to misuse the word era, but it's the beginning of a new cycle, at least for the next 20 years. And if you're like right around my age, 20 years, guys, is about as much as we have, which means it's about legacy. It's about what I want to bring into this world. And I better be conscious about this, because if I don't pay attention, if I go into autopilot, you know, the next 10 years are just going to run through my fingers like the previous 10 years. You see, this is coming from a different place in you, not from fear. I mean, obviously, some of you can take this as fear. You can say, oh my God, life is already over. I'm running out of time. Oh no, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, this is a moment here in your life where this part in you is being activated. It's being activated in all of us right now. And that is, guys, no offense, I don't mean male person when I say guys, it's an American phrase. How do you want it now? What do you want for the next 20 years? How do you want the world to be for your children or your grandchildren, if you have them? These next 20 years where you can play a role in your life and the greater good for all, how do you want it? And what are you willing to give to the world? And what do you want to get back? And all that is supported now. I love it. Yes. Yes, you guys are getting it. You want to give more love to this world. Yes. Yes, Robert, you absolutely spot on here. Brand new stuff starting right now. Right now. And for those of you who really want to work with these inner energies, and maybe you have a hard time feeling what you truly want, or you're not quite sure yet how to trust in this, please take this opportunity to come to the free Connect with Your True Self session tomorrow. This is an energy healing and training session. Yes, many of you know this. I've been doing this for 10 years, every month, with a live talk afterwards about what it was that came forward for you Yeah, me basically just helping you to translate that. Me, just helping you to align to your true self, what you truly want, what you truly need, based on who you are right now. Not an fantasized ideal of you or something that you would like others to see in you. No, 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 no. What you feel as your source of power, as your superpower, as your reason to be here, your soul purpose. Yeah, it's tomorrow on the 17th of February at 8 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. So if you are in Europe, I'm sorry, guys, it's at 2 a.m. in the morning for you. And if you're on Australia, West Coast Australia, it's at 8 a.m. in the morning for you. I always change the times because the audience here is from all over the world, so I have to make it fair. Okay, so I'm going to all these different time zones with this. Okay, so 8 p.m. tomorrow, we're doing this free session. You can sign up for it for free. You get instructions sent to you. There's even a 5-minute MP3 alignment download link. Yeah, to really, really tune into this. If you cannot make it to that session live, register anyway and do the session on your own. Do it before you go to sleep. I will carry your energies through that session at the time, and you can still ask me afterwards, yeah, what I saw in your energies. This is what I do, guys. I'm a translator. I help you to translate what it is, yeah, that comes from your united heart mind. Okay. On Friday, in our energy update for week 8, I'm going to report about the energies that are coming in for this next week. Yeah, so it keeps going. Yeah, there's always another level. And that's going to have to do with how to actually work your mind and your heart together. How, again, here, yeah, this is left and right hemispheres, up and down, in and out, okay, all these seemingly opposing energies in us, how to conjoin them, how to bring them into coherence. And what happens, yeah, if we don't, and obviously in those energy updates, I'm reflecting on collective energies, meaning what the majority of people are going to do. Yeah, so right now, guys, we are experiencing what I refer to on last Friday as the purpose of pain. We are experiencing a shift into discomfort and a confrontation with our old pain, our old karma, trauma, drama, in order to understand what we need to let go of. So this is this new beginning that you're feeling. It's like you needing to make a commitment with yourself that you are done. You're done with this repeat. And if you want to change something, you're gonna have to change the approach. The first step is to become more aware, make it more conscious to you what your alignment is. And the second step is to identify what is holding you back. And in conjunction with what is holding you back, yeah, why are you still agreeing to it? What in you is allowing all that to compromise your integrity? And then in the third step, to muster the courage to take a risk, because you're understanding that there's no growth in your comfort zone. That the very act, the very conscious act of stepping out of your comfort zone is what brings growth, is what brings more truth, more love, and more freedom into your life. And for many of you, this is a bit of a test right now because your boundaries are being tested. Many of you have a hard time with this really, really strong masculine energy, yeah, that is presenting itself right now here through the collective or through these collective energies. And the reason being that as energetically sensitives, whether you're male or female, you have sort of a built-in fear of confrontation. Yeah? And your ego's notion is to avoid that. And my tip to you for this energy talk today, step into it. Step into your fear. Step into your karmic pain. And make a commitment with yourself. Absolve yourself for your choices in the past. It's very, very important. And say to yourself, all right, this is it. If I want this to change, I need to change. I need to change the approach. And for many of you, it's as simple as standing up for yourself, as simple as not avoiding this confrontation, while simultaneously being more self-loving and gentler with yourself. Yeah. Connecting with these feminine energies that allow you to see how muscling through things, how going harder and doing more hasn't really changed much. So sometimes you have to step back, you have to recuperate, you have to tend to your inner life force, yeah, through your body and your emotions, in order to muster enough courage to go out. So it's a constant, yeah, creation is a constant in and out breath. Going in, internalizing, mustering the life force, the power to go out. Waiting for the feedback, staying in truth, staying neutral, recognizing what you need to let go of, going back in and grounding. Internalizing, yeah, connecting with the greater purpose, using the feedback that you've received to correct, to make adjustments, and then go out again. Yes, Brian, that's ultimately what leads to conscious living. That's it. And my tip for you here in a nutshell is stay firm on your vision. Stay firm with your heart's prompting, but be flexible about the details and how to get there. Yeah. Do not deviate from your heart, guys. Because as an energy healer and coach, I can tell you that if you deviate from your heart, everything else goes out of balance and it's impossible for you to discern truth. So you have to stay in your heart, but you do need your mind as well. Trust in your heart, yes, even if you don't know the answers. And that comes from this inner prompting, guys. Yeah, and that's something that comes in when you connect with feminine energies. But then you have to utilize your masculine energies. So spirituality, guys, is not about just being out there. Remember, that's the other darkness, to get lost in the ether. And the other darkness is to get lost in your body, in your pleasure, in your ego. Yeah. I hope this helps you to navigate through these really, really intense full moon energies. I hope to see you tomorrow night. I'm going to start to send out instructions for our session tomorrow in a few hours. I'm going to post a link here for you to sign up. It's in the description of the video. Thank you guys for being there. Thank you for participating, for commenting, and please continue to comment. Let me know how you feel about some of these things that I say here, you can disagree with me, you can start a discussion with me. I'm always super, super happy for anybody who comments, because I'm still trying to get you guys out of the woodwork a little bit with all these views and no likes and no comments. Yeah. So that's why I like the direct link to you here on Skype. Thank you very much. And don't forget, we have daily Sacred Self online meditations here on this channel every day, sometimes even twice a day, with these beautiful, beautiful volunteers and trained energy healers, who guide you through, these momentums inside of you every day. Wonderful. See you Friday, 12 p.m. Love you guys.